How? How does the anime industry keep doing this to me? They keep making such awful decisions. I mean, they took an IP that was beloved by many, reached mainstream status, and from the second season onward, down the toilet. They did it to this anime, they did it to One Punch Man, they did it to Promise Neverland. They continue to do this type of stupidity, and I don't know why. They just like to watch money disappear, I guess, because, like I said, each one of the anime that I mentioned, some more than others, reach mainstream, reach such beloved status, cosplay, discussions, theories, and just from the second season, they just don't give the animators and the directors enough time to cook. Either they don't give the people involved enough time, or they don't give it enough money. They just simply, the people on up top just keep making stupid decisions, and I don't know why. And let me just talk about the this anime, Rising of the Shield Hero. Look, like rambled on in the beginning, the first season very good, beloved by many. Some people give it a 10 out of 10 in their reviews and everything. To me, it's like a 9, but still a 9 is 9. You can debate me on that, but 9, 10, or around, people really, really, really love the first season of Shield Hero. And from the second season onwards, all downhill. I mean, the Spirit Torches arc that was the beginning of the second season, the animation took such a dip, especially with the tortoise. That sometimes is in 2D, sometimes it's CGI, sometimes it's the size of a building, sometimes it's the size of a mountain. They just weren't coherent enough when it comes to the animation, and not only with the animation, also with the storytelling, because I did read the manga. Now, I only read the manga all the way to the Spirit Tortoise arc. So when the Spirit Tortoise arc ended, from then onwards, I was completely in the blind. But from what I remember reading in the manga of the Spirit Tortoise arc, they cut some segments from the manga that could have made the writing, or what was happening throughout the episodes a little more tolerable, if I could say, because there were some parts of the manga that I said, oh, they cut this part, they cut this part, they cut this part, and it wasn't super essential to the story, but still it was some interesting segments that I would have liked to watch because it does give it a little extra spice to the story. Is it essential? No. Was it needed? Yes. And from then on, you know what happened. From then onwards, the story was just awful. Some parts did not make sense. Later on in the third season, the quality in the third season did manage to improve a little. Was it at the same level as the first season? No, but it was at least some improvement from the god awful second season. Now, the fourth season that came out in summer of 2025 last year from this video airing, honestly, I would say that the fourth season of Chill Hero, the quality of animation and story ceased sits somewhere between the second and third season between in quality. I honestly think that the fourth season took at least I'm pretty sure with the animation it took a small step behind the third season. Now, when it comes to the storytelling, the pacing, and so on, I could say that at the same quality as the third season, but still, there was no improvement. Either it was the story, the same quality as the third season, or it was the animation that took a little step behind the third season. So still not good. And enough to say that the fourth season was complete trash. It's not nowhere near the quality of the third season of One Punch Man. No, but still not good. The quality of animation, especially with the anime fight animation scenes, it was normal, 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 high quality, deep, normal, 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 deep, deep, normal, deep. It was just the quality of the animation when it comes to the fighting was just all over the place. It took a little spikes here and there throughout the fights, but it always either went back to normal or out of nowhere just went in low quality and then back to normal. And that's how the entire fights were throughout the fourth season of Shield Hero. Some punches just did not have enough weight to them. The quality with the animation or the sound design did not put that extra when it comes to the punches, and some movements felt a little bit sluggish in the movements when it comes to the fight scenes. Some of them, but once in a while, there was a small peak where, out of nowhere, there was actually good quality animation. So I do think that the animators that work on the fourth season of Shield Hero does have the talent to make a good damn anime. I just think that they didn't have enough time. And that's just the when it comes to the animation, when it comes to the fighting and so on. When it comes to the story, well, the story, honestly think that just like I remember from the second season where I noticed that they cut some parts of the manga when adapting it to in the Spirit Tortoise arc, I also think that in the fourth season, they cut some stuff that could have made the season a little bit more better or something because some segments I honestly think that they were rush. This fourth season was divided into two different arcs. There was the arc where Naofumi, Raptalia, Philo, and the gang went to procure a boat to travel to the homeland of Raptalia to go to the emperor and say, "Hey, I have no interest in taking the throne." But those people in the town that were the port town where they went, that was mostly basemen of all different kinds, they just did not let up. That arc felt very sluggish with the storytelling. It just was on and on and on. Now, Fumi saying, "I want a boat," and the people, the council saying, "Oh, yes, we'll give you a boat, but first you have to do some meetings. You have to appear in public towards the people, sign some papers, whatever, blah 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 blah." Pretty much treating him like he's a king and giving him responsibilities that he just does not want. And he only wants the boat and get on with it so that he can help Raptalia settle those problems so he can go back home and then prepare to fight the Phoenix. And it felt so boring and many times. Yes, it was interesting. Was Naofumi being praised and worshipped like a god in that town, but not enough to keep my interest. The only thing that I do think that was funny from that arc is that I swear that the shield heroes that came before all of them were furries because there's a tradition, and they even said the council said it themselves that the heroes from shield heroes from before always enjoy the little harem that we prepare for them with the different species. So with that little dialogue, I deduced that all the shield heroes from before were furries. They enjoy their animal girls, and I don't knock it, but some of them were more animal than girls. So you have to have strong preferences to have relationships with some of them. That's the only thing that I found enjoyable about that segment. And the other arc was the rest of the season was with the whole thing with Ratalia going to her homeland, going to the emperor saying, "Oh, I have zero intentions of being the next king or warlord or however you say it." But when the gang enter her homeland, the people were just in a devastated state. High taxes, they could not defend themselves against monster. The government just was mm, uh, is crushing the people with all of these ridiculous laws. That segment of the of Bratalia's homeland felt rush because there was a good pace going on for a couple of episodes. From out of nowhere, they went from Naofumi and the rebel army against the army of the emperor, and out of nowhere they just jumped straight through to the castle, and it just felt rush. That ending felt rush. They left it in such a weird, underwhelming tone that I just did not like it. I think that they cut a couple of segments in from the light novel or manga so they can finish this small arc with the Homeland of Ratalia to just get it over with. Kind of like what happened in the second season. So yes, the like I said, the quality wasn't good. The animation took a step back. They did introduce one or two new characters that yes, they are fun to watch, but not enough to save this season. So this was just a disappointment. The only reason that I continue to watch the Shield Hero is because I'm already invested. I already watched the first, second, third season, so I pretty much felt obligated to watch the first. So I'm already locked in. I'm here for the ride, no matter how awful or no matter how disappointing it gets, I'm here for it. Sadly, it had like you would say a capture audience. But that's all I'm going to say for this video. So I am going to give this season of Chill Hero. I'm going to give it a 6. To me, to say quickly, to me, like I said before, to me, the first season of Shield Hero was a 9. The second was like a 4th. The the third season was all a 6, and the fourth one is also a 6. Yes, it did take a little step back when it comes to the quality of animation, but not so much that I can say that you deserve a 5. I think a 6 is fair enough, but still is really a drop off compared to the 9 or 10 that some people gave the first season. And believe it or not, I kid you not, by the end of the episodes, of the last episode of Shield Hero, they already confirmed that there's going to be a fifth episode. So whatever studio or whatever the people on top are thinking, they're at least going to attempt to do a full adaptation, I think. To what end? I don't know. So I'm going to end it here. So have a good day, have a good night. wherever you're from. See you next video.